Both of these tripods were cheap. This one feels disposable and this one does not. So let's talk about that. Now, we normally review tripods that can cost more than some entire camera kits, but this tripod here only costs about $49.99 US. And you know, I'll be completely honest, it's been a while since I've used a tripod this quote unquote low end. So how good can this really be? And how much better is it than something like this Amazon Basics tripod? By the way, if you are new here, I'm Aaron. I'm a corporate video producer by day and freelance filmmaker and photographer by night. We are Really Visuals, and if you want to see more videos like this one, consider hitting that subscribe button to see more. So let's start with a simple fact, and that is that there are some pretty amazing tripods out there at all kinds of price points. We have used everything from your bottom of the barrel Amazon Basics tripod all the way up to high-end cinema level Sackler tripods. And the truth is, I'd bet 90 to 95% of people who watch our videos probably don't need a $1,000 or even a $500 tripod, maybe not even like a $250 tripod. Now, of course, with more investment, you are getting better stability, higher end build quality, longevity, heavier payloads, and more professional features, etc. But as someone who reviews and uses a lot of gear at all different price points, I wanted to see what it'd be like to use a cheap tripod and see if I was really missing out on as much as I thought I would. And honestly, it's been totally fine. Now, if you're someone who takes photos or shoots videos as a hobbyist, sometimes you just need something cheap and cheerful to get the job done, and something that just needs to work without all the frills and pro features that some people won't even need. This is where something like the Neewer tripod, this is their new TP12 model, comes in, which is a really simple, entry-level, no frills tripod. And by the way, guys, this video is sponsored by Neewer, who were kind enough to send us this tripod for free to check out, and also helped us to pay for some of our humongous electric bills here in the UK. But they haven't told us to say anything specific. We are completely free to critique the product as we see fit, and all thoughts and opinions are fully independent. And one thing I do want to explore in this video is why spending a little bit more money on a tripod like this is a far better investment than saving yourself like 20, 30 bucks and going for a cheap tripod like this one here. Now, if you want to just skip this entire video, I'm pretty much going to show you the difference between this tripod and this tripod with just a simple sound test. So if you listen to the Amazon Basics tripod, now listen to the Neewer TP12. I think that kind of speaks for itself, really. The second test, if you want to skip this video entirely, is the column test. So if we take out the column on the Amazon Basics tripod, and then shake this, you'll see how, first of all, this is as tight as it will go and it's still moving. Is this as tight? Oh my God, this is actually as tight as it will go and it's still, you can still push it in. I didn't even plan for that to happen. Now for the Neewer TP12, extends a lot further for a start. I mean, that's not going in at all. And there's no play on this. I think that pretty much already tells you why this is a better tripod versus that one. One more test is the stability test. So on the tripod without any kind of weights or anything weighing them down, with a Sony a7 IV and a 24-70, you can see it's pretty stable. Like, it does shake a little bit, but not too much when I stamp around it. Pretty firm. Jesus Christ. Oh. Okay, same camera on this Amazon Basics tripod, and it honestly, you can see how much it's wobbling. I swear everything is as tight and screwed as it needs to be. There's nothing loose, and the wobble is just not great at all. I mean, this is technically under 2 kilograms, which is the payload of this tripod, but I would not use this outdoors. I mean, this looks bad indoors, but outdoors on uneven surface with people walking around and stuff, no way. So let's take a closer look at some of the key specs of this tripod. Firstly, the tripod is made from aluminum alloy, which is a huge improvement over sort of cheaper metals or even plastics. Now it weighs just 1.33 kilograms, so it's light enough to carry with you on those long photography days out, but it still has enough heft to it that it feels like you still have a proper tripod. It's also really nice and compact as well when it's folded, so it's really manageable for travel and for those of you who may struggle with bigger and heavier tripods, which can be really cumbersome on shoots where you actually have to move. It also has a payload capacity of around 5 kilograms, which for reference means it can handle a big full frame camera like the Sony a7 IV and a fairly chunky lens like this 24-70 G Master Mark II, which also makes it great for smaller cameras and smartphone users as well, which is kind of like more for who this tripod I feel is aimed at. For context, this Amazon Basics tripod can only handle around 2 kilograms, so it cannot really support the same setup as you can see right here. You also get one of these ball heads, which makes it really nice and easy to make on the fly and very quick adjustments to your framing. Again, making for a nice upgrade over like a simple pan and tilt. You also get a phone mount and an Arca plate included as well in the tripod. Now, I do like tripods like this one for things like travel and more casual work, or also as a backup or secondary tripod. And you know, for a very pretty small price, these are super solid specs. In real world scenarios, a lot of times you don't want to be carrying a huge, massive tripod with you for professional work. Yes, of course, I get that. But if it is for personal or general usage, then practicality takes priority. So for example, this year we've been very lucky enough to have been able to do a fair amount of traveling. We've been to Iceland, Poland, Slovakia, Indonesia. And for instance, in Iceland, we knew we were going to take photos of the Northern Lights, and the last thing we wanted to do was burden ourselves with a big, heavy tripod with a bunch of features that we know we weren't going to use. We just needed something light and quick to use that would fit in our suitcase and ultimately keep our camera stable in order to get nice low shutter speed shots, as you can see with these pictures we took of the Northern Lights here. And we used a similar older, newer tripod for when we were on holiday in Vietnam, for example, to get these kind of low shutter speed shots. It just needed to be able to handle the wind and, you know, sort of people walking around it to keep it stable for those slow shutter speeds. And as you can see, it handled that perfectly. And as I mentioned, another great use for a tripod like this is just to use it as a backup or secondary tripod if you need a secondary angle for your B cam or for overhead shots, etc. I've been using this as kind of like my throw it in the car and leave it tripod. So it kind of just lives there, and whenever I need it, it's there. Now, as I alluded to earlier, in general, particularly when it comes to camera gear, you do get what you pay for up to a certain point, and then you start to see diminishing returns. One thing I would say is that with tripods, you definitely want to avoid, like I said, those cheap and cheerful Amazon Basics tripods. When you spend a little bit more money for something like this, you're buying from a company that makes camera accessories specifically with a proven historical track record, albeit for the lower end, but that's always going to be a big improvement over someone like Amazon, which makes a basics of pretty much anything and everything you can think of. Both of these tripods do feel cheap, but this one feels cheaply made, whereas this one doesn't. This one feels disposable, whereas this one feels like I could actually use it. Now, to be clear, at $50, you are gonna have some limitations. Obviously, this is not gonna feel as stable as more expensive tripods. It's not gonna have those fancy bells and whistles you'd expect from something higher end. It's definitely not designed for things like heavy wildlife setups or cinema rigs, so we have to set some expectations here. There are a few cheap feeling parts like the knobs. Some of the clips don't feel great. The mounts are mostly plastic as well. However, I think Neewer understands the entry-level market and, you know, what type of person this tripod is designed for and the kinds of camera setups they might use. So I think that kind of is going to be my conclusion for this video, but let me know what you think in the comment section below. I am definitely interested to hear about your thoughts and opinions on how good is good enough for most people. Would you be okay using a tripod like this over something more expensive? Let us know down there in the comment section below. Anyway, that's going to do it for this video. A big thank you once again to Neewer for sponsoring this video. If you found it helpful, hit that like button, subscribe, all that good stuff that the YouTube algorithm likes. So we are coming very, very close to our target of our 100K. So hopefully we can make that happen very soon. Thank you for watching. If you made it this far, you can also follow us on the socials down here. And as always, I'll see you on the next video. Peace.